Today, we're going to take iPhone X to the next level. I'm excited to show you what is by far the most advanced iPhone we have ever created.
Can we talk about like we care about love? You know, I know, you know, yeah, yeah. Nothing burns like a cold day.
This is iPhone XS. It is the most advanced iPhone we've ever created. And I'd like to invite Phil up to tell you all about it. Phil?
Well, good morning, everyone. I am so excited to tell you all about iPhone XS. It is made of a surgical-grade stainless steel. It has a gorgeous new gold finish on the front and on the glass. It is the most beautiful iPhone we have ever made. The screen goes top to bottom, edge to edge, rounded into the corners. And it's covered on the front and the back with a new formulation of glass that is the most durable glass ever in a smartphone. iPhone XS comes in 3 finishes: gold, silver, and space gray. They are beautiful. And they're protected from dust and liquids to an even higher level now, IP68. That means it's protected to 2 meters for up to 30 minutes. So if you happen to be hanging by the pool, drop your phone in the water, don't worry, dive down, grab it, rinse it, let it dry, you'll be fine. And the team tests it in many different liquids, in chlorinated water, salt water, orange juice, tea, wine, even beer. And this is some of the most fun, intense testing we get to do at Apple. Well, the screen on iPhone XS is a Super Retina display, the best we've made yet. It's an OLED display, 5.8 inches on the diagonal. It has 2.7 million pixels, 458 pixels per inch, the highest quality display on an iOS device. Now let's put it side by side with our plus-size phone, an iPhone 8 Plus. And as you can see, it's as big a display as the plus-size phone, but in a smaller design. And so many customers love that about that. Big display, easy, comfortable to hold in your hand. And it looks incredible. Watching movies on it, the latest HDR movies, like Lego Batman, using the latest formats, Dolby Vision HDR10. Your photos look stunning on iPhone XS. You shoot them with beautiful wide color, and they display better than ever on the new Super Retina display because it has a 60% greater dynamic range for colors in your photos than the iPhone X's display. It is gorgeous. Well, the iPhone XS is not just one, but 2 sizes of display. The 5.8-inch and a new 6.5-inch Super Retina display. This is the biggest display ever on an iPhone. It is an OLED display as well. 3.3 million pixels, 458 pixels per inch again. Now, a lot of our customers have loved the plus-size iPhones, so let's put that side by side. You can see it's about the same size phone with a much larger display. We think there are a lot of customers who are going to love this larger display. Now, the 5.8-inch, we already said, was as big as a plus-size display. So what do you call a phone that's bigger than plus size? Well, we call it the iPhone XS Max. And the Max is an incredible experience. Watching videos on it is cinematic. Looking at your photos bigger than ever is incredible. Surfing the web, looking at flyovers and map, Even when you're using some of the built-in apps, the team is taking advantage of the wider display when it's in horizontal mode to give you a split view like here in Contacts. It's awesome for editing videos in iMovie, for creating songs with GarageBand, even playing immersive killer games. It's so much fun on the iPhone XS Max. So there are two Super Retina displays now, 5.8-inch, 6.5-inch, both OLED displays, both a 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio. They're HDR displays. They have fast 120 hertz touch-sensitive layer. That's how it gets its smooth scrolling, really fast typing and gaming response. They both have 3D touch for pressure sensitivity. They have tap to wake. They have incredible color management. They're true tone displays, so the paper white looks just right in all the different lighting that you use it. And they have wide color. These are amazing displays. And we've matched them to incredible sound systems as well. Stereo sound, better than in any iPhone to date. Now, with the XS, you get a wider stereo field. The team has matched powerful speakers with great software to deliver an even richer sound experience. So watching movies sounds incredible. And playing games like Alto Odyssey, which previously told you to put on headphones, now you just want to listen through the speakers because of that beautiful wide stereo sound. Or of course, listening to music and watching music videos like the Foo Fighters sounds better than ever. All right, let's talk about Face ID. Face ID is a huge step forward in biometric protection for all of our personal data on our devices, and customers love it. It is powered by our True Depth camera system. And there's so much technology in that little space right there. An infrared camera, flood illuminator, proximity sensor, ambient light sensor, dot projector, front camera, speaker, and microphone, all working together to give protection to the data on our devices. And they're designed with multiple neural networks, so it's secure and seamless in the iPhone experience. With iPhone XS, you just pick up your iPhone, look at it, it recognizes your face, and unlocks your notifications and information. And it does it faster than ever before, because the XS now has faster algorithms and runs on a faster version of the secure enclave, so it's gotten even better. Face ID works remarkably well. In fact, we're proud to say it is the most secure facial authentication ever in a smartphone. Now, powering Face ID in everything we do on the iPhone is our A-series chip. And the team has worked so hard to make every generation of the A-series chip better than any ever in a smartphone, and this year is no exception. What the team has done is truly, truly breakthrough. It's called the A12 Bionic. And the A12 Bionic is the industry's first 7-nanometer chip, and that's a huge breakthrough, yes. Now, the A12 Bionic is packed with 6.9 billion transistors. And what the team has done with all that is remarkable. So let's go through some of the things in this chip. We're going to talk about the CPU, the GPU, and the neural engine. Let's start with the CPU. It is an Apple-designed 6-core CPU. This is a fusion system. It has 2 high-performance cores, 4 high-efficiency cores. The 2 high-performance cores run up to 15% faster than the cores in the A11 Bionic, while also being 40% more energy efficient. And the high-efficiency cores are up to 50% more energy efficient. And all 6 cores can run at once. The GPU, well, this is an Apple-designed GPU. It is so powerful. Now, the A11 GPU was already ahead of anything else in the industry. The A12 GPU is now up to 50% faster than the A11. So a huge jump in graphics performance. But the real advancement, the real blow-away thing, is this neural engine. Now, you know we introduced the first neural engine last year with the A11 Bionic. With the A12 Bionic, we take it much further. The A11 was a 2-core design. This is an 8-core dedicated machine learning engine to power all that great machine learning software on our systems. And it has a smart compute system. What that means, it's able to analyze the neural network data and figure out on the fly whether to run it on the CPU, the GPU, or the neural engine. I mean, this is breakthrough. And the performance is unmatched. We told you last year the A11 Bionic could process an insane 600 billion operations per second. Well, the A12 Bionic is able to process 5 trillion operations per second. Unbelievable. Now, the A12 Bionic is a complete system on a chip, so there's so much more. And the team works very hard to be just as innovative at every one of these things in the A12 Bionic. It has a next-generation image signal processor, incredible video coders and decoders. There's our display engine, our audio system. Of course, it is a secure enclave. There's memory controllers, storage controllers. The Apple-designed storage controller in the A12 Bionic can now address twice as much internal storage as previously. So now you can up to 512 gigabytes of internal storage if you want. That's a half a terabyte on your iPhone in your pocket. That's enough for over 200,000 photos stored on your iPhone. It is incredible. This A12 Bionic is without question the smartest and most powerful chip ever in a smartphone. So much of the experience we have with iPhone is driven by this chip, and it's going to enable us to have so many great new experiences not possible before. The A12 Bionic just powers so many incredible new experiences, and that includes the camera. We all love the cameras in our iPhone. No doubt, you all know, it is the world's most popular camera, and for great reason. Over 10 years, customers have been taking incredible photographs with their iPhone cameras like this, and sharing them with us around the world and telling us stories with them. And we're so proud of all the people who use the iPhone camera, from consumers to even increasingly professionals are using them for photos like this. And this is a beautiful portrait photo. But what makes us so proud of it is that it appeared on the cover of Time magazine. Now, this is their issue for women who are changing the world, and we couldn't be prouder to be part of that story. Well, you are going to be blown away with the pictures you can take with the iPhone XS's camera. It is a remarkable new dual camera system. It has a 12-megapixel wide camera, a 12-megapixel telephoto camera, and an even more improved True Tone flash. That 12-megapixel wide camera has a new sensor, a larger sensor with bigger, deeper pixels. It has optical image stabilization and our fast 1.8 aperture lens. It's Apple's 6-element lens. The telephoto camera is also a 12-megapixel camera, also optical image stabilization, f2.4 Apple design lens. On the front side, you have the True Depth camera system, and that's a new sensor as well, a 7-megapixel sensor that's twice as fast. And it works together with the IR camera and the dot projector so it can create depth in your portrait mode photos. And as we talk about cameras, of course, everyone talks about the sensors and the lens, and rightly so, they're an important part of the camera system. But increasingly, what makes incredible photos possible aren't just the sensor and the lens, but it's the chip and the software that runs on it. And this is so true with iPhone photography. So, for example, in the A12 Bionic is the image signal processor, working together with the CPU. And it does so many things every time we take a picture. It automatically sets exposure, white balance, sets the focus, does noise reduction on low light photography. It brings out highlights and details, and it can fuse multiple images together, like when you do an HDR photo or create a beautiful panorama. And the ISP and the A12 Bionic does all of this better than ever before. But what it does that is entirely new is connect together the ISP with that neural engine to use them together to make our photos incredible. So for example, the CPU and the neural engine can work together to do detection of people's faces and bodies to understand the scene that you're shooting, and can do facial landmarking. So it recognizes exactly where the eyes are and does instant red eye reduction that looks perfect. And it creates better segmentation masks, so when you're doing portrait mode, the hair and the glasses are better than ever before. This is an amazing amount of power for our camera team. In fact, when you take a photo, it's capable of doing 1 trillion operations on every photo you take. And what the team is doing with that power is truly remarkable. We have a brand new feature we call Smart HDR. Now, we all know what HDR is, right? You can take a couple of photos and merge them together to bring out highlights and shadows and keep your subject looking great. Well, Smart HDR takes this idea so much further. So let's say you're taking a picture and the camera recognizes you're shooting a subject and the subject's moving. You go to press down on the shutter and you get a picture instantly. It's called zero shutter lag. What the A12 Bionic is actually doing is shooting a 4-frame buffer so it can capture that critical moment. But the A12 Bionic is doing even more than that. It's also capturing secondary interframes at the same time. And those interframes are shot at a different exposure level to bring out highlight details. And it's doing more than that. It's shooting a long exposure so it can get better shadow detail as well. And when you're taking that picture, it's analyzing all of those, finding out how to match up the best parts of each and merge them into one perfect photo. That's Smart HDR. It is a breakthrough, and it makes taking photos easier than ever and to get beautiful results. So let me show you a few photos shot with iPhone XS, not retouched in any way, no exterior lighting used, anything else. It's just straight from the camera. So here's one. I mean, this is stunning. Your subject beautifully lit with natural light, beautiful skin tones, great detail, and a nice, beautiful, soft background. What's remarkable about this photo is it was a windy day by the water, and her hair was blowing, yet you still get that incredible detail in her hair in this Smart HDR photo. Here's another example. As you can see, this is what you're not supposed to do, right? Shooting a photo into the sun, because that's going to blow out the exposure. But Smart HDR made sure we got a great sky, we got detail on the shadows of the water, but most of all, look at the water drops coming off of his hair and how crisp and detailed they are. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, all your photos come out so much better now with iPhone XS, no matter what your subject matter, people, pets. Look at the skin detail and the hair and the beautiful sky. As we said, it shoots wide color photos as well. Look at the color range in this photo. Shot straight off iPhone XS. And it looks even better with the higher dynamic range display on the iPhone XS when you look at it there. We introduced portrait mode and portrait lighting photos. Those are better than ever before. Here's an example. It's incredible, the level of detail. This is the stage light feature in the portrait lighting. It looks so beautiful. Here's another portrait lighting photo. Excuse me, portrait mode photo. Beautiful, soft background. These are better than ever before. And there's a huge advancement here. Remember the area on the background of the photo, that the quality of that blur is what the industry calls bokeh. And the team wanted to make a big advancement in what can be done with bokeh, and they've done some amazing work here. They studied some of the highest-end full-frame cameras and expensive fast lenses to characterize the quality of professional bokeh, and then bring that capability to more and more of us through the portrait mode photos we can take with iPhone. And what they've achieved is really breakthrough. So I'm going to show you a photo now. I'll just tell you right up front, this was not shot with a high-end expensive camera. This is shot with an iPhone XS, and it is breakthrough. It is absolutely beautiful. The detail on her face, the great skin tones, obviously reflecting from the surface of the car to light it up. But that background and the quality of that bokeh is remarkable. This is a breakthrough in photography for a smartphone. But further than that, the team discovered something remarkable. This is so exciting. I can't tell if you can tell I'm excited about this, but this is... So when you take the picture with portrait mode, and then you go into the Photos app, and you tap Edit, you're going to see a new slider on the bottom. It says Depth. Right? Yeah, someone said no. Get ready for this. Because, and let me blow it up, you're going to have to watch two things at once. You're going to watch the depth, and you're going to watch the background. You can, after taking the picture, adjust the depth of field from f1.4 to f16. And the background is changing with it. Let's do that again. We're going to slide the depth of field and watch the background as it changes the depth of field of your photo. This is done after you've taken it. This has not been possible in photography of any kind of camera. This is something that iPhone can now do with the power of the A12 Bionic chip. Let me show you one more example. There's another photo shot with an iPhone XS, and that's a beautiful background, that incredible higher quality bokeh. And as we looked at it, we selected f2.0 because we thought it had just the right depth of field we want in the photo. I mean, this is a new era of photography. Some people call it computational photography. With the power of not only the the sensor and the lens, but the A12 Bionic and incredible software and the care the camera team has put to creating high-quality photography is making images possible now that weren't before. And the benefits of this are not only for photography, but for video as well. It's a new era of videography as well, with this new sensor and the power of that A12 Bionic chip. And it can do many things. It has a twice as fast sensor, can take advantage of a lot of this technology to give better image quality in our videos. And there's something else the team has done too. Taking advantage of the 4 microphones built into iPhone XS, we can record stereo sound with your videos as well. And it plays back with that beautiful wide stereo field, and it sounds amazing. So let me show you a quick video that we shot with iPhone XS, just natively shot on it, nothing done to it other than we edit it for length, and it's shot in low light, and it creates images that weren't possible before. Here we are.
Hey, what's up? Made it up here. Yeah. Let's try it.
And that's a beautiful video. You just shoot it, 4K, but there's a lot going on that the system's doing for us. Autofocus, auto exposure, bringing out the highlight details, the shadow details with wider dynamic range, amazing color rendering and tone mapping, and stereo sound being recorded automatically. So that's photography, that's video, that's our camera. Now let's talk about battery life. Increasingly, all smartphone users want more performance, bigger screens, but longer battery life too. The team's really worked hard on this. iPhone XS is able to, compared to iPhone 10, get you up to 30 minutes longer in your day than iPhone 10 did, and that's really great. iPhone XS Max has the biggest battery we've ever put into an iPhone, and it can get you up to an hour and a half longer in your day. And there's a lot more new with iPhone XS and XS Max. They have faster networking, gigabit class LTE. They have more bands than any other smartphone, so they have the best worldwide roaming. And speaking of worldwide capabilities, one thing we've had requests for is dual SIM capability. Well, some of you know what this is for. For the rest, here are some reasons people want dual SIM. Some people want 2 phone numbers on their phone. There may be a home number and a work number. Some want 2 different plans depending on the region of the world they're in and what they need. And many of us like to travel and want to keep our local phone number, but may need to get a data plan in the region we're in so we can have access to fast data there. To do this into iPhone XS and XS Max, we built a technology called DSDS, or Dual SIM, Dual Standby. This means that you have both phone numbers there in your phone, waiting to get the call. Whichever one gets it becomes the active line. And to enable that, we've added our eSIM technology. eSIM eSIM is a standard that we've been working with carriers to promote around the world. We've actually already been shipping it in cellular iPads and cellular watches, and now we're bringing it to iPhone. So with eSIM, it's built in, easy to set up a second line. You can point your camera at a QR code from a carrier and set it up. And the teams work to make sure in the software that the fact that you have 2 different phone numbers is understood, and you can name them home and work, primary, secondary, whatever. And then throughout the user experience, you'll see that a phone call is coming in on a certain line, and you know how to deal with that. Now, support for eSIM requires support from carriers, and we've been working with many great carrier partners, and they're going to be rolling out eSIM support throughout the fall and many more into next year. We're really, really happy to be working with them on this. So that's how we're going to provide dual SIM support around the world. We will have a single physical SIM and an eSIM in both iPhone XS and XS Max. In China, where we can't bring eSIM into iPhone yet, we're making a special model of the iPhone XS Max that has 2 physical SIMs, actually 1 on each side of the SIM tray. It's a really smart implementation, and we think they're going to love that. So this is iPhone XS and XS Max. They are packed with so many new advancements. Better Super Retina displays, 5.8-inch, and the new 6.5-inch OLED displays. Our next generation 7-nanometer A12 Bionic chip with faster CPU, GPU, neural engine, and helping us to deliver even longer battery life. Our new generation dual camera system with a bigger sensor, smart HDR, portrait mode with more beautiful bokeh, dynamic depth of field, higher quality videos with HD and 4K. New true depth camera system that's faster for Face ID. Gigabit class LTE. This beautiful new gold finish. Protection to IP68, and so much more. These are incredible new iPhones.